So today, my guest is Adrian. He is a business analysis coach, consultant, speaker, writer, senior leader in the community, past president of the IIBA. But before I say too much, I'm going to let him introduce himself. Welcome, Adrian.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to be here. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I always just describe myself as an enthusiastic BA, and you're quite right in what you say that I do believe every regional market is slightly different.
Yeah.
And even within Europe, every market is slightly different. So I know the UK market, but I know that's very different to the North American market, which is slightly different from the Canadian market, and that's very different. So yeah, I think this would be a really good conversation.
Fantastic, awesome. So let's get to know a bit more about you. Tell us about your journey, as a business analyst.
Well, I worked for an insurance broker and then an insurance company, and I was pretty much training to be an underwriter. So I was learning the technical elements of how insurance works, and I started to get involved in projects. And then one day, I was kind of just told I was a BA. Like, people were saying, "What you're doing is business analysis," and this was before the term was really used much. And they were right. And actually, I look back on it and I'm like, you know what? Even when I was like one of my first jobs in an insurance broker, like an insurance agent's office, it's like, well, I was improving processes, right? I was doing business analysis before I knew what business analysis was. And so then I went and properly learnt what, because you pick stuff up as you go along. Then I learned, of course, the proper theory. And then went through various, sort of lead BA type roles, and then set up my own business analysis practice and company and so on. And
all right, so I want you to tell me a little bit more about your involvement with the IIBA. So you were the past president of the IIBA in the UK, and you're still a strong member of the IIBA community, speaking at a lot of chapter events, BBC, and all of that. So I'd like to hear more about the IIBA and how that has been a part of your BA journey.
My history with IIBA goes back to, I think, 2009, 2008, 2009, something like that. And there was the very first business analysis conference that I'm aware of held in the UK, Business Analysis Conference Europe, as it's called. And it's held every year now. And I was working with for an organization at the time that managed to get some tickets, and I managed to be one of the lucky ones that got a ticket. And when I say I went there, and it was like, oh my word, these are my people, right? It was like, I was like, oh my God, you have that problem too, and we all have this problem. Well, hang on a minute, why don't we solve it together? Like, we're all feeling like, at the time there was this is 2008, 2009, whenever it was. It's like, oh right, so we're not really sure. Like we're having a lot of noise about agile and whether there's a BA in agile. That was, ironically, that still happens, right?
Right.
12 years later, but so I was like, well, how can we, this is a conference, how do we keep that momentum going? And the IIBA chapter was, of course, involved in arranging that conference along with other organizations like BCS and a few others. And so I just joined. I was like, well, I need to be part of this. And then I got to know the people running the chapter. And then, because the way the chapter works in the UK, I think, like most chapters, there are elections. So you're a volunteer, but you have to be elected to be on the board. So I stood and I got elected as a marketing director. And I chose marketing director to apply for because I knew nothing about marketing, right? And as crazy as that sounds, it's like, well, if I get the role, I'll have to learn about marketing. And I did that for, I can't remember, 3 years, 2 years, however long. And then the way it works in the UK, it's different in different chapters. But at the time, the board elects its president. So when one president sort of retired, left, I put my name forward,
Yeah.
and those on the board supported that, which is good. And so all in all, if you include the volunteer as well as the board service, I was probably involved in some capacity for about 7 years. And the only reason I stood down was I decided to do a master's degree.
Let's go deeper into the future of business analysis in the UK. So what do you see in terms of the future of business analysis in the UK? You know, things are evolving with, you know, so many specializations, with Agile being the most used approach now, with so many specializations, with VAs getting into data, getting into cybersecurity, getting into product ownership. There's so many things, and these are the things we're seeing here as well. But I want to hear from you, your perspective, what you see, with regards to the outlook for business analysis in the UK.
The outlook for business analysis, in my view, is really, really positive.
Fantastic.
I can't see any future where business analysis skills won't be required. And there's a real need for people with those core business analysis skills who can understand messy situations and help organizations see opportunities and threats, figure out what to do with them, identify the needs within the organization and the impact on external stakeholders, then of course specify that into something and deliver it. And you think about like there's a lot of talk about Agile, quite rightly.
Sure.
And I think, yes, of course, Agile is crucial that we know about. But I think, or certainly I'm hearing more and more about like business agility or organizational agility.
Yeah.
And for me, that's about the organization being able to adapt. Right? So if Agile is about delivering a product in an iterative and incremental way, and which is crucial, organizational agility is about, an organization seeing what's on the horizon, figuring out how to respond, and actually being able to respond.
Yeah.
And you think about, what discipline can help decision makers see what might be coming, figure out what that means for them, and figure out what to do. Well, one of the key disciplines there is business analysis. I mean, it's it's the strategy analysis element of BA/BOK is a huge part of that, and to some extent the solution evaluation knowledge area as well.
There's this very, very common question that a lot of people have with regards to getting started with their BA careers in the UK. So what would you advise people, who want to start their careers, as business analysts, in the UK?
Yeah. So I think there are some things that will be common whichever part of the world you're in. If you're in the UK, or if you were, say, arriving in the UK or planning to have a career in the in the UK, I would say join the UK chapter, and you can go to those virtual events. In fact, a lot of those virtual events are available to you as a non-member at the moment, right, virtually as well. From a networking perspective, absolutely engage with IIBA and IIBA UK. In terms of securing a BA role, and there is a little bit of a weird thing in the UK market that even what might be called entry-level BA roles, I hate that term, but like the first like a bit like it's still it plays down how important the role is.
Yeah.
But often they'll say, you must have 2 years business analysis experience, and so people are thinking, well, I haven't got the experience, so I can't get the job. I can't get the job, so I can't get the experience. And but it comes back to that point that you might well be doing it just without the title.
I'd like you to tell us a bit more about Blackmetric Consulting, which is you're the principal consultant there, and you do amazing work through that company. So tell us a bit more about your BA consulting.
Yeah, so at Blackmetric we do business analysis consulting and training. So we provide business analysis consultancy services to organizations that need business analysis, a lot of pre-project work and health checks on projects and things like this. Also, we offer training to teams, and also if you go on our website, there's a public training course or public training course schedules. So you can look at those and book onto those if you're interested. Also, we do a whole bunch of free webinars. So normally once a month, there's a free webinar. So if you look on our events, if you go to blackmetric.com and go on events, there's a whole bunch of free events that you can just attend.
Yeah.
And also every quarter, we release BA Digest. And BA Digest is a quarterly magazine, PDF magazine, that you can download without registration. But generally people download it and then decide to go on the mailing list so they get it in future, which is great. So and that's it's generally about 72 pages long of business analysis content, so it's a free gift to the BA community.
Yes, for sure.